guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is, we gotta do it, Nursefunds. A few of you guys have asked me to talk about how much I make as a nurse. I figured, a few people probably came to my channel, kind of expecting me to stuff my entire check. Just a disclaimer, you guys, do not go into the healthcare field for the money, because I promise you, you will not be happy. Plus, just think about it. Would you want to be taken care of by somebody who is just motivated by the money? I didn't think so. You have to do this because you genuinely want to help people. Yes, money is important. We all have bills. We all have lives. We all have goals. But, like I said, think about it. Do you really want to be stuck in a job you don't like? So we're going to talk about my first job up until the job now and how much I made. My very first job, straight out of nursing school, I worked at a long-term care facility and I made $28.50. But with nursing, I will tell you right now, there's a lot of room for making more money. There's overtime shifts. Sometimes you're not actually signing up for them. You're actually accruing the overtime hours by staying late to chart. There's that. So I wasn't making much, but to me, it was like a lot. And this was back in 2017. I should have said, I have 3.5 years of experience. I will be going on to 4 years. Technically, I passed my boards in July of 2017, right at the end. Actually, my friend's birthday was the day I passed, but I didn't actually start working until about the end of September, beginning of October. After that, I worked at an LTAC, which means long-term acute care center. And basically, I worked with patients who had ventilators, so trached and ventilated. A lot of people also required dialysis, and a lot of them were there long-term, or they were there for long-term rehab. Ooh, I got pen on my finger. When I started there, I only had 6 months of experience. Yes, I know. I started making $30 base with a $2 differential. I was working the evening shift, so I made a total of $32. But at this job, I also made a lot of bonus shifts. So they would do a lot of like swapping, and the incentives that they would give you was like $200 extra on top of your base for an incentive to stay. So for example, if they needed me on Monday and I really was like, nah, but they were like desperate, they would give me an extra $200 to work that day. So I would come in, work. This is how much I would get paid for the day. Okay, that's a lot of money, I think, in my opinion. So I had a lot of those opportunities. Like I said, even though the base is not like the most, there is always opportunity to make more when you're a nurse. They need us. After I left there, so these are all full-time jobs, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning. I also did some side hustles, which I'm going to talk about. But at my third job was an acute care hospital. It was magnet status. Don't let that fool you. It doesn't mean anything. I'm going to take a water break. Actually, it does mean something. It just means that the hospital has top-tier nurses, and they hire nurses at a higher standard. So like basically it's kind of hard to get in these types of hospitals, like as a nurse. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what somebody told me in HR. I think she was just trying to play up the hospital. But anyway, when I started working there, I had 2 years of experience, and they were not unionized. So that's something else also I should have mentioned. Right now I work for a union hospital, and that is the only union place I have ever worked. All the other places I have worked never had a union. So this place that I worked, it was a year and a half of experience. A year and a half of experience, I was making $32 base plus $4, I believe 50 cents. No, just $4 differential. So I was making $36 an hour, plus I was also making an extra $10 on top of that on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. The reason why, so I was making $36 an hour regular shifts, and then on the weekends I was making $42 an hour at a year and a half to 2 years of experience. I had hit my 2 years there in July. Well, July, but really it's like September, October. But the reason why I was making $42 an hour at 1.5 years of experience was because I was, like, during the weekend anyway, was because I was on the night shift. So I worked both 7p to 7a, and I also worked the 11p to 7a shift. I did not like that. So I had a lot of overtime on top of that too. So I made a lot of money that year as like a newer nurse. I think I made close to this much. I'll put it up there. So I made a lot of money. So then after that, I was kind of frustrated with the floor. So in that floor I was working was kind of like a med-surg floor. It was a GI/GU unit, so it was a lot of so gastrointestinal, genitourinary. So GI/GU, we had a lot of people who had bariatric surgeries. We also had a lot of cholecystectomies, status post cholecystectomies. We had a lot of bladder irrigations, a lot of people with UTIs, kidney stones. So we saw a lot of that. And I was kind of getting tired of it, so I just didn't like the cattiness of the floor. And that floor that I worked on was very infamous for lateral violence. And there's actually a lot of reviews on the hospital where they call out that floor. My manager there used to actually be a nurse on the floor, and she played favorites. There was a lot of gossiping. I honestly felt like I was like walking into an episode or the movie Mean Girls.
Oh my god, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen. Oh my god, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it?
Even though the women were like 20 plus years older than I am, which is really sad. But anyway, I had actually taken an offer at an inner city hospital, and they were unionized, and they were going to start me at the same base pay. So the base pay there, because I still had the same like amount of years, so I had 2 years of experience. So I was gonna get $32 base plus $5 differential. So that's $37 already. Plus I was gonna get an extra $10 for floating. So that was gonna be a $47 an hour position, and it was night shift. That's why I got the $5 diff. But that's a different story. I didn't end up going there. I ended up going to a hospital closer to my home, and I'm glad actually I didn't go to the other hospital, because about 2 weeks after I was supposed to start, there was like a shooting outside the hospital. And that area was very scary, if I'm being honest. So I ended up at a local hospital, which I'm still at now. And this is the first unionized hospital I've worked at. When I started here, I had 2.5 years of experience. So my base pay was this much, $32.71, plus a $2.50 differential. And so I made $35.21 an hour, and then I would make $37.21 on the weekend. So the weekend differential, I believe, is $2, if I'm not mistaken. And then also, they also pay their nurses for having their BSN. So I get a whopping $40 a month for having my BSN. So that's $10 a week that I get. So now that I'm at 3.5 years of experience, I will be hitting my 4 years towards the end of the year. Well, technically, my 4 years, like I said, is in July, but I didn't actually start working towards the end of the year. So, at my job now, I get a raise in January. I get 2 raises in January because I started in January. So the first raise I get is my yearly raise, like how many years of experience you have. So next year, at 4 years, I will get a different raise. Plus, I also get a second raise, depending on the year. So this year, we got a 2.25% increase in pay. And next year, I believe it's 2.5% increase in pay. So currently, I am making $34.68 base plus $2.50 differential. So I make a total of $37.18 an hour. And then on the weekend, I make $39.18 an hour. But keep in mind, I am unionized, so my hours are 32 hours. That is considered full-time at my job, not 36 like most places. I do 8-hour shifts. Small little delay. So keep in mind, I am unionized, so we have laws to protect us. And if we go over the hours that we are allotted to work, we are automatically on overtime. So at my old hospital, after overtime was 40 hours. But here, because I am 32 hours, overtime for me is 33 hours plus and beyond. And like I said, nurses never get out on time, really. So after my 32 hours, and I also have opportunities to pick up if I want. After my scheduled hours, I make time and a half. We also had incentives where if you picked up an extra shift, because they kind of wanted to do away with travel nurses. That's another thing we're going to talk about, travel nurses. Oh my gosh, they make bank. But anyway, so they were giving us, what were they giving us? They were giving us time and a half plus $20 extra on top of your base pay. Plus your differential, like you get everything. So, I think they stopped that like last month or something. Yeah, they did. But best believe I was picking up shifts there for like any time that I really, that was kind of like my side hustle. This is how much I make in a check. And I take home this much, mostly because taxes, Uncle Sam. My taxes here in Massachusetts will, I feel like the more you make, the more he takes. I also pay for benefits, and I also put a lot of money into my retirement account. So those are the jobs I worked and how much I currently make. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. Bye.